YouTube, how's it going, guys? All right, today's the day. We're going to be going over the best settings for OBS for 2021 for you to stream on YouTube. All right, now I know a lot of you guys are probably streaming over on Twitch, and that's perfectly fine. But this video here, we are going to be talking about YouTube. As you know, everybody's transferring over, such as Tim the Tapman, Dr. Lupo, etc., right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and help you find the best settings for your YouTube. So maybe either you could fix your settings or you can start streaming on YouTube if you're a PC player. So let's go ahead and dive into this. First off, what I need you to do, just head to Google and just type in OBS release candidate, or you can type in OBS 27.1 release candidate. No matter what, you're going to need to find this page. And of course, as soon as you see GitHub right here, it's going to lead you to it no matter what. Or if you actually just want to look at this link that I have right here at the top, this github.com, OBS project, OBS studio, release tag, etc. If you just want to type it in so you can go directly to this page, you can. As soon as you get to this OBS Studio 27.1 release candidate 2, I need you to make sure you scroll down to the bottom and you go ahead and you install the full installer, okay? The times 64 down here. We need you to go ahead and get this installed and add it in. Hopefully this will become a main thing for OBS, so that way that, you know what, maybe later on down the road we won't have to use this release candidate. But as of now, that's where we stand at with it. But this right here is an amazing thing for OBS, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it as well. Let's go ahead and jump over to my YouTube channel as you see here. So what we're going to be doing is, usually whenever you want to go live on YouTube, you come to this page right here. You know, you'll go up here to the top and you see where it says upload, go live, create a post. All right, if we click go live, we can either click over here onto the left where it says manage, and what this does is it lets us set up a schedule. Go in there and set it up like, hey, I'll be streaming Friday, or I'll be streaming tomorrow at 1 p.m., etc. You can actually do that, and that's amazing because it notifies, you know, all of your subscribers ahead of time to let them know. But what we're going to focus on is the part that says stream right up here at the top left. Now, usually, if we were going to be streaming, we would have to come over here, copy the stream key, go over to OBS, and we would have to install it inside of OBS, correct? Now, with you actually downloading the release candidate and all of that, you no longer have to do that. That's the best part. So that's why I'm saying hopefully they keep it this way. So we're going to ignore all of this right here for right now. We're going to come back and we're going to go over everything that you see right here. So first off, what I want to do is I want to actually show you the OBS right here, okay? Now, if you see right here on the right of myself, I think it's the right, it's probably the left, I don't know, but you see where it says YouTube chat. This will actually work once you're streaming inside of OBS. And used to, you didn't see that chat. You would have to keep your dashboard pulled up on another monitor, or the same one, etc., to the side, or open your phone in order to see your chat. I got you fixed up. No need to worry about that, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to head down here to the settings. Now, this general tab pretty much has nothing to do with you because, of course, it's all to do with Twitch and all of that. So we're not going to focus on that at the moment. We're going to go ahead and click on this stream tab right here. Now, as you see right here, you're going to choose the service, which, of course, is going to be YouTube RTMPS. Because why? That's what we're focusing on here. That's what this main video is about. Your server, I don't see why none of you guys can't choose your primary YouTube server. Everybody else pretty much does, so that's what I would suggest you guys doing. Now, do you see it says connected account? TrippyMELMEL. This is actually my YouTube account. Now, used to, this wasn't there, okay? But whenever we downloaded what I showed you guys to download, this automatically appears to be there. And this helps out tremendously because now you've got your account to where it just, you can automatically, if you're on Twitch and you swap back over, like for example, like this, we click on Twitch, we can choose, you know, connect account recommended. And of course, see here, it's automatically going to let us, you know, type it in, or for myself, whatever I can. But we go over here to YouTube and it's already got TrippyMELMEL, it's ready to go. So that's the best part about why we downloaded that. The next thing is go ahead and make sure you check this box right here. It says ignore streaming service setting recommendations, because if you look here, the maximum bit rate is 51,000 kilobits per second, and then you got the maximum audio is 160. So go ahead and click on this. That way you don't have to worry about halfway through streaming, get all these warnings and alerts and et cetera, go on. That way, you know what? Let it push whatever it's needing to push out. So I would recommend you guys going ahead and checking that, but hey, each to their own if you choose not to. Don't forget to go ahead and click apply down here to the bottom. We're going to head over to the output tab. For streaming, make sure you use track number 1. For your encoder, if you guys have to where it is an NVIDIA graphic card inside your PC, please use that. I can't, stress it enough to you guys that if you do not have to put all the heavy load on the CPU, then don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Let the graphic card do it, because that's what it's there for. So if you have NVIDIA, go ahead and use that card. If you don't, then you can just use your 264 and leave it up there. The rescale, don't check the box, leave it like it is. Now your rate control, go ahead and leave it on CBR. Come down to your bit rate. Now this is what's going to change for YouTube, okay? And I'll talk about this number that I put in there in just a minute, but you can actually put something else, but we're going to discuss it and go over why you should use what you should use. Your keyframe, leave it at 2. Preset, I would just put it on quality whenever it comes to YouTube. Now over on Twitch, of course, we would use max quality, because you will be able to tell a difference in the preset and all of that over on Twitch. As to where YouTube, you're really not going to see a difference, because we're about to put out the crisp, clear right here whenever we lay it out, okay? And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So go ahead and use profile high, and make sure you check psycho-visual tuning, GPU 0, and max B frames. We're going to put it at 2. Come down to your audio. Oh, let me back up. Come back up to output. Go to this little audio tab right here at the top. Not this one, but this one. This is where, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and click on all of these and max them out to 320. Because on YouTube, you can max out the audio for better sound. And that's what I would recommend for you guys, to go ahead and push out. Remember, we put the check mark right up here, saying that we were going to ignore all of this, and that's what we're going to do. So go ahead and jack it up to 320, and I promise your audio is going to come out amazing. All right. Now what you want to do is go ahead and click on audio right here. And for right here, what you want to do is just choose your desktop, your mic, etc., whatever is best for you here. Myself, while I'm still building the gaming room, as most people know, I just plug up an Xbox controller to my computer, and I plug my little earbuds into my controller. That way it's quick, fast, and easy. All right. Now we're going to go down to video. Let's talk about something right here. Okay. This is where things are going to change. Let me swap things over, and I'll show you what the new setting is going to be. Now let me show you what the new settings are. If you go into settings and you go to video, they are now, the base resolution is still 1920 by 1080. The output is now 2560 by 1440p, and then you got the downscale is going to be bicubic, which of course is the sharpened 16 samples, and then we're still at 60 frames per second. You're probably saying, why 1440? That's not what I want to do. But it is what you want to do, because I'm going to show you the difference between one of my older videos when it had the blurry kind of glitchiness to it, the little like blur spots, especially playing certain games like Tarkov and all of that, to where you don't even want to look at the ground. It looks horrible. But if you actually use the 1440p, you get that smooth quality like Dr. Lupo and everybody's got. And I'm going to be showing you how to actually check this. All right, so once you get this done, don't forget to go ahead and click apply, and we're going to go ahead and hit OK. Now this, of course, like I said, you have your own chat right here. So that's another good thing, because usually you don't have a chat right here either. Now let's go back over to YouTube, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, being on my actual YouTube page right here, let's talk about something. So what I want you to do is, now that you have your OBS set up, I want you to come right here, and I want you to click this box, and I want you to click create a new stream key. Now, what I want you to just do is, for myself, I named it 1440p just so I was aware of it. You can name it whatever you want to just kind of remember it. You don't have to worry about a description. You do want to make sure it's on RTMP, which is the default one. It should say that, so just keep it there. And then you want to turn on manual settings right here. When you get the manual settings turned on, you want to take it off of the 4K, if that's what it's on or whatever. And you want to make sure you put it 1440p, okay, which is 6 to 13 megabits per second. And then you want to turn on 60 frames per second. All right, once you get this done, go ahead and you want to click create, which I already have one created, so I'm not going to do that one. So as you see, mine is right here. So instead of having to come over here and copy and paste it every time into our OBS settings, OBS already just recognizes it. It remembers it because we created the new stream key, and now that our YouTube is actually connected to our OBS, it knows which stream key that I'm looking for. I'll show you that in just a minute. Now you want to come down here, pretty much just if you hover over this question mark, you can tell the difference. So of course, you know, this is your stream latency. It is kind of like, you know, when you call somebody, if you ask somebody a question, how long is it going to take them to respond? It's one of those. So it's going to be the timing in between, you know what I'm saying, you doing something and to when chat and everybody else sees it happen. Just kind of picture it that way. So if you go normal latency, you know what I'm saying, yes, you do get a higher quality video and all that, but you know what I'm saying, and it's best if you don't want to interact with your chat. So if you're somebody that's just wanting to game and you don't want to interact with your chat at the moment, then it's best for you to go normal latency. If you're a gamer like myself or a YouTuber that wants to push the content out and you like to live stream, you know, all the time, then it's best for you to run low latency because it's going to give you about a 10-second delay in time before, you know, chat actually sees it. So, which that is actually a good thing. So I may be doing something like I'm playing Apex and I just kill somebody. So it's going to take between the moment it happened and about 10 seconds before you guys see it, or maybe you've asked me a question and I'll see it within, you know, that amount of time. So just run the low latency is what I would suggest. Now, enable DVR. It's best to keep the DVR turned on because what this does is if I'm live streaming and you're late getting to my stream, this gives you the opportunity just to go ahead and start my stream over, like kind of like a rewind on a tape player or a disc or something, to let you go back if you need to clip something, or it lets you go back to see what all you've missed, like I said, if you're coming in late. So it's best to keep that on. 360-degree video, I don't really know many people that's actually running that, so I would just suggest leaving it off. Now, if you need to add another delay just because you're doing something and you're like, hey, I need to go ahead and, you know, I wish it would have delayed a little bit longer, you can do that. You can add in your own delay, 30 seconds to 1 minute. That's totally up to you, but I don't run that myself. Closed caption, that is totally up to you. If you want it to actually, you know, run a closed caption with everything you're saying on your stream, maybe someone coming in, you know, has problems with being deaf or just one of those and they can read, so that may be good. But myself, I don't use it because they still have the option to turn closed caption on usually, like if they go back and watch my video at a later time. Now, unlist the live replay once the stream ends. What this means right here is, for example, let me just go ahead and open up a new tab. Let's go over to YouTube, and it's going to bring you to my channel right here. Now, this is an example. The only reason that you see the live New World Gang right here, this was just a title that I used just to, you know, play the game today. The only reason you see this inside of my play all right here is because I actually asked for it to be there. But let's say we're live streaming right now and it ends. It does not automatically just pop up right here in my, you know, video feed. So, you know, as far as for my uploads. So not like, let's say you clicked on my video and you wanted to watch the video, then you wouldn't have to worry about seeing like this live stream that I've actually had. What would be happening is this wouldn't be there. Now, it doesn't mean it's blocked or that you're not able to see it. It just means that you got to have the link or whatever to be able to get to it, or like just type in the title and then you could go to it. But it's just not going to be in my upload area every time you click on my name. Now, if you want all of yours to stay in your upload area, then you know what? That is totally up to you. So what I'm going to show you now is, remember we set up the OBS settings because we didn't want to have to come to this. And the reason that we don't want to come to this is because it takes up a little bit of time. So what I want to do is I want to pull my OBS setting back down. I want to show you what happens now when I automatically click start stream. So when you click start streaming, you automatically get this, okay? This is going to pop up and it's going to say create a new event or select an existing one, okay? So we have title, description, privacy, category, etc. So you would put your game title here, the description if you wanted it, whatever, like all your links, etc. Privacy, you'd want this to be on public if you're live streaming. Why? Because when you go live, nobody's going to know it if it's not. Category would be gaming. You know, is this video made for kids? That is your choice. I always put no. And then additional settings, your latency, you know what I'm saying? We're going to run it on low, and then enable DVR, which is the stuff that we just went over, and the schedule for later, etc. And then you can hit create event and go live. The moment that you do this, it's going to go live, okay? But if you already, you know what I'm saying, like you can just go ahead and select the existing one that you already have in there. As you see here, we got the live New World Game Gang. All right, so if I just click on that, and click go live with selected event, it's automatically going to go live and it's going to capture that stream key that I already had in there, okay? Now what this is missing that I just really feel like that I wish they would have improved just a little bit more, it doesn't give you the choice to add your thumbnail. It doesn't give you the choice to be able to add, you know, what game you're playing, etc. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So right here, if you click edit, you can actually put in, you know, your title, which of course a title is required when you're streaming. See how I got all of my links and all of my sponsors, just anything you want to add right here. Now down here, you got your restrictions and then categories gaming. Of course, right here, it would have been New World. And then this is where you can add your thumbnail. You can do your playlist, you know, select the audience features, just all of that. You know, like this video is set to not made for kids, and all of that, and then like paid promotions, etc., etc. It doesn't give you the option for all of this. And then your customization, you know, like the live chat, like a live chat replay, live chat, like subscribers for 1 minute. That's what I usually do. And then monetization. Now, this is something that I really want to talk about. Should you be using monetization when you're live streaming? I would say no. Now, as far as myself, I make pretty decent money just off of my YouTube in general. So me going live and having to use, you know, the monetization, running a bunch of ads can be very irritating. So I would say if you're already making really good, decent money off of YouTube, then, you know, off of your videos and just everything else, then I would just recommend not using monetization. But if you're somebody that just wants to use it, go ahead. But just remember, a lot of people don't like all the ads and stuff, so it could push people away. But anyway, you've got this right here completely set up. Now let's go ahead and talk about, you know how to live stream, you got the OBS, everything set up, and you know inside of your OBS you're going to be able to see the chat on the right hand side without having to keep your dashboard pulled up. Now let's talk about why you should actually choose a certain 1440p or the 1080p, etc. Okay, now let's just go back to, let me find something way back older. Let me just click on videos. And I'm actually going to go back to a real old one that I've done from my house, maybe. So let me see if I can find an old one, okay? All right, so this one has got 3.5K views on it from 2 months ago, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to actually talk about this video, okay? All right, so we're just going to pause it. If you right click on it, actually I'm going to let it play through. Let's go ahead and, all right, if you right click on it, you click stats for nerds. All right, you'll be able to see that right here at the bottom. So go ahead and click stats for nerds. If you'll look, it's VP09. All right, we have a VP09 code on this. That means I was running a really good quality at that time. Okay, so that means, you know what, I did not have any kind of blurriness. You're not going to see any of that in my video. It's like all smooth and everything. You don't see all of that. All right, now let's go back to let me see if I can find a different one. I want to show you guys exactly what I mean. Let's go to this live stream here. All right, so if we go to stats for nerds, you're going to see that AVC1, all right, AVC1 is gonna show you guys a lot of like lagginess. And let me see, I think this is one of the ones that got cut off. All right, let me go back. I just keep finding videos that were crazy. All right, here's an AVC1, I think, that I can show you guys. Yeah, this is an AVC1. Let me see if I can find the blurriness in it. That way you guys can kind of understand where I'm going here. And we'll see if we can hit the nail right on the head, okay? So I think this is more of a tutorial video. If I could find one to where I was actually gaming, then it would probably help out. This is another AVC1 right here. Is this Tarkov? Because if it is, this would be a great video to show. And once again, it's all about settings. So let me see if this part right here loads up. I'm having the worst luck showing you guys right now. All right, so if you look right here, certain features, you can see like it's still a AVC1. You can see the blurriness in it, like right here, just in certain things. And you may say, yeah, duh, that's just Tarkov. But it's not. Because like I said, if you look certain places, especially whenever like I was live streaming, you'll be able to see that I had these blur spots and everything inside of videos. And it just kind of hurts your quality all around. Let me see if I can find it. All right. All right, so this is actually a good one. Do you see right here? I'm going to go ahead and play it, all right? And I want you guys just to watch. Let me make sure. Yeah, this is an AVC1. I want you to watch the blurriness in it. See how it's like kind of blurry in certain spots? If you see what I mean, like over here by this house and all of that. And like see out through here. So like up through here, see the trees when you're looking at it? This is just stuff that people doesn't want to see. So what we're going to do is using that 1440p, and here's another thing. You've got to run 1440p, and you've got to run at least 10,500 bit rate in order for this to happen. Now, if we come over here to my last stream where I went live earlier last night, then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, okay? So let's just go ahead and play right here. So you will not see that during this. Do you see how smooth this game is? Other than Apex itself, all right? Very, very smooth. Looks really, really good. You don't see all of that other than around my camera, and that's just NVIDIA broadcast itself. But it looks really, really good, okay? So if you right-click on it, Stats for Nerds, it's a VP09. You want the VP09 inside of your OBS and, you know, to show up like that for your YouTube videos because it puts it out crisp and clear, and that's what everybody wants to see. So, all right, we've drug that out long enough. It took me a minute to find it. But the way that you're going to fix that, once again, is you're going to go to Settings, and you are going to, of course, be streaming on YouTube. You are going to go to your output, all right? Output now is, you're going to go 10.5, okay? 10,500 is what you're going to have for YouTube. And then, of course, your audio, like I said, if you click on this audio tab here, put all of these on 320. And then you want to make sure you go to video and you want it to look just like this. The bicubic, 60 frames per second, 1440p, and then the top one, 1080p. All right, once you have that, you're good to go. Now the next thing you're going to say is, Trippy, how do I find out what I need, you know, as far as bit rate? All right, bit rate can be a little tricky. So this is what we're going to do. Just go down to the bottom and go ahead and open up your calculator. All right, so first off, go to Google and we're going to run a speed test, okay? So once you go to Google, I would go to speedtest.net if I was you, which is going to turn out to be this one here. All right, go ahead and run a speed test, find out what your speeds are, and then once you get that speed test, all right, you are actually going to do it something like this. All right, so we're running the speed test, and you're just going to, you know, multiply the numbers. Try to leave, I would say, no more than a 20% gap right there. But I would actually say around 10%. 20% is kind of pushing it. So just, use that 10% gap. And I don't have the best internet speeds, but what helps me is I do have cable and I'm wired in. So that's where I get good speeds enough to push out any game I want to play. All right, as you see here, I do have 14 ping, 7291, and then I have a 9.94. All right, so let's just go ahead and say 10, and then we're going to go times, and then you're going to go 0.8. All right, so that's just roundabout. It's going to give you an 8, but you're just going to go ahead and multiply that by 1,000. So it's going to give us about an 8,000 bit rate is what I can use. Now, here's another thing. If someone else inside of your home is also streaming at the same time as you or using this internet, you wouldn't want to use that. Now, myself, most people think, okay, on Twitch, you can only use the highest 6,000 bit rate. It's not 6,000, it's 8,000. And on YouTube, there is no limit. A lot of people think it's 9,000. No, it's not. You can use whatever you want on YouTube, but as far as Twitch, it is only 8,000 now. It used to be 6. So for myself, I do run 8,000 on Twitch, and for YouTube, I run 10,500 because I want to get that crispy, clean video as far as the stream for everybody to be able to see. Now, everybody's internet's going to be different. Multiply it, leave about that 10 to 20%, gap right there in the, in your multiplying, so you can tell what your bit rate speeds are, which way you need to push it out and all of that as far as your numbers, because you may not can run an, 10,500 bit rate like myself. Okay. Now you see my numbers and I can still run 10,500. So I know you can too if you're anywhere in my area as far as numbers, whatever, with your speed test. So go ahead and, get your bit rate set in there the right way. And whenever you get that done, then you want to just make sure that everything inside of your OBS looks like this, okay? So you've got your YouTube stuff, you've got this box checked, your output, 10,500, or like I said, I got a buddy, he uses 20,000 bit rate. I know someone else who uses a higher bit rate. So if you're rocking fiber internet and doing the good thing out there, then hey, jack it up and you know what? Let it fly. Now, don't forget to click on this audio tab, max it out to 320 only on YouTube, 160 for Twitch, your video, 1080, 1440p, bicubic, 60 frames, and then rock it out and you're done. That's all you got to do. But once again, do not forget to add your OBS Studio 27.1 release candidate, okay? That is actually going to be the biggest thing that you guys need to do, okay? Because adding this is what's going to fix it. And hopefully this becomes a permanent thing with OBS and it just helps everybody out tremendously. Anyways, that's been a long tutorial right there, but I hope it helps you out for the best OBS settings for 2021 for YouTube. And I hope you decide to start streaming on YouTube if you're not already, because I promise you, it's the way to go right now because everybody is swapping over. And also start making content for YouTube. Even if it's hashtag shorts, it's a good way to grow. I can promise you that. Last but not least, consider subscribing and making sure that you turn notifications on. And don't forget to drop a like on the video if this was helpful to you at all. Or you know what, you want to support me in any type of way. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're on the road to 11,000 and it would mean a lot to me to hit that number. I love you guys, and if you got any questions, feel free to drop them below. I love answering your questions. I love helping you guys out as much as I can. And hey, let's just strike up a conversation. You guys take care, and hey, rock out the OBS and the YouTube settings, and we'll see you in 2022 for some better ones.